Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. So I received a subscription box from Amanda at your creative studio, but I'm going to do the unboxing a little different this time, obviously. I have challenged myself to use at least one of everything in the box on a journal spread. So I've already opened the box and had a look at what's inside, and my plan is to show you each item as I use it. So I hope you enjoy this unboxing slash journaling process video, and I will leave all of Amanda's information in the description box if you are interested in getting one of your own. So with that being said, let's get started. So I've already chosen a page, and I'm just taking some lace paper from my shop. This is one of the colored shimmer lace papers that I offer. And I just love this pattern, and I felt like it went really well with the kit. I didn't want to cut down the pattern too much. So I'm basically going to just glue it over the center of the spread. I wouldn't typically do this very often because it does bulk up the center of your journal a bit. But every now and then I think it looks nice, and I really just love this whole pattern, so I didn't want to cut it down anymore. And I started to take some of this washi tape from the kit, which I'll use it in a minute, but I decided that I wanted to actually make my own washi tape. So I'm taking some double-sided tape. This tape is about maybe an inch or an inch and a half wide. It doesn't really matter. But I just took some double-sided tape and I laid it so that it's sticky side up, and then laid ledger paper right on top of that. And then I'm just going to stamp on top of the ledger paper. So I'm using these smaller stamps that came in the kit, and I'm just choosing a few of them because I'm going to create a little pattern of sorts. I'm using Memento's Espresso Truffle archival ink. And like I said, I'm just going to roughly make a pattern with these stamps. I'm not getting the whole stamp on top of the washi tape on purpose. I think it looks kind of cool to have it kind of hanging off the edge, but you could use a wider double-sided tape and actually use the entire stamp if you wanted to. By the way, any of the other supplies that I use in this video, I will put it in the description box so that you can get it for yourself if you want to. So that is my little handmade washi. You could go in and like color this in. That would be kind of cute too. I didn't. I just left it black and white. There's a lot of things on this spread that I think I would have changed if I had thought about it at the time, but it is what it is. So I went ahead and put my handmade washi down, and then I put a little bit of the washi that came in the kit down as well. And I'm just adding a little bit extra. I'll move this washi tape around just a little bit during this process, but for now, it's just going to be one strip along the side of my handmade washi. So this is another pack that came in the kit, and it has tons of little labels, and it also has like a pressed flower in there as well. So I thought that was kind of cool. I end up using just one of these, and then I also end up putting the pressed flower in a laminating sheet, but I actually don't use it on the page, so I'll use that at another time. I have these teeny little self-sealing laminating sheets. I did actually buy a laminator, but I haven't used it yet. So yeah, I just didn't want to pull all that out this time. But this is a small self-laminating sheet for like name cards, I guess, or badges. And I'll link that as well. I like that they're so small, so I don't have to cut them, because my pressed flowers are small, obviously. So I don't know, it's kind of neat, and it does have the little hook thing on the side, so you could add like a lanyard, but I that doesn't bother me. So like I said, I did put it in there, but I didn't use it on the page. I tried, but I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do with it. So this is some paper that came with the kit, and all of these pages coordinate with the rest of the kit. I love these Your Creative Studio kits. I think they're so neat. They all coordinate together, and I'm basically just showing you that it is quite easy to just pull a page together, because you don't really have to think about what colors go together and whatever. You choose what you want and you stick it on the page, and it's a relatively easy way to journal. So I chose this paper from that pack, and now I am going to use my die cutting machine and die cut one of these little Rolodex note cards, and it actually has like a flap that you pull up, so you could have like some hidden journaling under there. So yeah, I just went ahead and cut that out with some brown cardstock, and I'm cutting a little square out of this vintage paper. It actually came out of a vintage photo album, or I guess it really is an antique photo album. And I'm just layering that on top of the Rolodex card. And now I am taking some of this decoupage paper. There were 5 sheets in the kit, and they're all exactly the same. So I'm just choosing like a little image that I think I want to put on the page. I actually change it later and decide to use something else. And but yeah, I just cut the little hat out for now. So now I'm going to use one of these wooden stamps, and I'm going to stamp that right on top of that that piece of paper that I'm going to stick on top of the Rolodex card. And now I'm trying to decide what I want to put on the inside of that flap. So I thought maybe I would use this paper and just cut it to fit under there, but I remembered that this sticky pad also came in the kit. So I'm actually going to use one of these sticky notes under that Rolodex card, and that will be where I can do some hidden journaling or something. And it just fit perfectly. I'm always a little scattered when I do journaling, so I'm sorry if I start pulling out other things and I like turn and do something else and then come back to whatever I was working on. It's difficult to do this, to like talk over my journaling because I'm in the moment and I'm just like doing whatever I think I need to do for that page. I have a lot of ideas going through my head, and so I'm trying to like do it all at once, you know? So I also kept this brown paper bag that the stamps came in, and I decided I would emboss that brown paper bag. And now I'm just thinking that I'm going to do like a little mini collage on top of that bag. So the kit also came with these little ephemera pieces or die cut pieces. So I am just choosing which one I want to use. And these are also all coordinating with the papers that came with the kit. So super cute little kit. So I went ahead and decided to use the water can, and now I'm pulling out the butterfly stickers that came with the kit, and I'm just going to choose one of these to use in my little collage. Trying to do two things at once right now and show you the butterfly stamps and also pick one for the page. So I decided to go with this green butterfly, but I will add another butterfly stamp to this spread before I'm finished. So I go ahead and glue all the pieces down that I have decided on. This came out of that label pack, and then the die cut, and then the butterfly stamp. I used my Distress Oxide and just kind of made it a little bit grungier so that it would kind of match with the other pieces. And then I went ahead and stuck that down. And these little butterfly stamps are stickers, so super easy. I don't even have to use my glue stick. So yeah, this is when I decided that I was going to use a different piece of that decoupage paper. So I pulled out one of my lace paper tags that I'm offering in my shop right now. And I decided that I would do another little collage on top of the tag. And I wanted to use this decoupage paper in that collage. Obviously, it's difficult to see unless you back it with something. So I pulled out this scrapbook paper, which I got from a lovely lady on Etsy. And I will link her shop in the description box as well. Her name is Kathy, and she is so super sweet. And she has some great stuff in her shop. She has a lot of de-stash stuff. And I got a couple of doily dies and a ton of paper, scrapbook paper. So definitely check her out. She's a newer Etsy shop, and she's just such a sweet person all around. And she's got some great stuff. I literally would have spent a fortune in her shop. But yeah, she's super sweet. Please check her out. So I glued the decoupage paper on top of that piece of scrapbook paper. And now I'm just adding a little label. It says filed. It was the only one I could find that was brown. So I stuck that on top of the tag as well, just to kind of add something else to that little mini collage. And I'm just going around the tag with some Distress Oxide. So I backed this little paper with some more of that antique paper from the photo album. And I'm just kind of trying to figure out where I want to put that on the page. But that's just going to give me a little bit of journaling space for later. So I'm trying to decide what I want to do with this envelope. I think that really would have been cute where I have it now. But of course, that's not where I put it. So I did decide I was going to use this paper doily on the left side of the page. I just kind of made it a little bit shorter. I flipped it over so the longer side is behind this page, which you will see in a minute. I'm going to fiddle around with these pieces for quite a while because I'm trying to figure out how to make all my pieces fit together. This is actually the business card, Amanda's business card from Your Creative Studio. And I'm just cutting out the little typewritten sentiment that is on the back side of the business card. And I'm going to back that with some scrapbook paper in a moment and put that on the page as well. And I will probably use the other side of the business card as well, just because I think the picture is really pretty. But I just don't use that on this page. So at first I thought maybe I would use this. I had like a little spare piece of ruffle from when I was making paper ruffles before, but I decided I didn't want to do that. So then I pulled out this sticker sheet from the kit. I chose one sticker, and I backed it onto this antique paper again. but I decided not to use that one. I'm actually going to use a different one in a moment. I'm backing that sentiment from the business card on another one of the sticky note papers, and I'm going to glue that on the inside of the Rolodex card. Still fiddling around with everything, trying to see how it's all going to fit together. This is where I flip that paper doily around and use the shorter end, just because I feel like it doesn't cover up too much of the page that way. So like I said before, I chose a different sticker from that sticker sheet. And so I chose the gnome, which is this little guy here, and I think he's just really cute. So I backed him with some more of that paper from the antique photo album, and I'm just going to put him in this little mini collage on the front of this brown paper bag. So back to my tag, I pulled out the last sticker sheet from this pack, and these are like little eucalyptus leaves, and I chose a couple of those and just put those in my collage on my tag. In hindsight, I probably would have done a little bit more to this tag, but you know, I think it's cute still. And then I added a little bit of seam binding to the top of that tag just to finish it off. I cut it a little bit short, so I decided that I would actually tie it in a knot rather than just loop it around. So I'm kind of trying to stretch the seam binding out and then tie it in a knot. But it all works out in the end. No big deal. So I just tucked that into my brown paper bag, and that's where the tag is going to live from now on. This is a fabric ruffle that I actually bought because I loved the fabric. And I just glued that down to the edge of the page just because the colors worked perfectly with this spread. So I'm using tacky glue to glue that down just so that I know it's not going to come up in the future. And then I also added a little button on top of that just for decoration. So I'm finally committing to putting the brown paper bag down on this page. And I just glued 3 sides of it so I could stick a little piece of paper in there to do some secret journaling. And I went ahead and used my glue stick to glue down the paper doily just on one side. So actually I didn't even cut the paper doily in half or anything. I'm just leaving the other side for a future spread. And like I said, I'm going to move this Rolodex card around just a little bit because I really didn't want everything to be on the bottom of my spread. I felt like it was a little bit bottom heavy, I guess. but I do end up doing that, and I try to balance it out later. But it, you know, sometimes you look back on your journal spread and you're like, why did I do that? And this is just one of those moments where I'm like, why did I do that? Or I think I could have come up with something better, but but it's okay. It still turns out pretty. So I decided that I was going to take that other journaling paper that I made and put that behind the Rolodex card. So the Rolodex card, I'm just going to tape on two sides, and it'll be like a little tuck spot. I have this label piece as well, which I will use in another little mini collage up at the top of the page. That's when I'm actually going to try to balance all of this out so that it doesn't look so cluttered at the bottom. So I cut that label piece down a little bit, and I'm going to stick it up at the top, and then I'm going to create another teeny collage up there. I'm using one of the butterfly stamp stickers, and I'm also going to use one of the Tim Holtz sentiments, which says, "Find joy in the ordinary." And now I'm going to put this huge butterfly die cut on the page because it kind of fills in that dead space behind the journaling card on that page. It's not my favorite, but it is pretty cool. So I have this little coin holder thing. I guess it's not really a coin holder since it's an oval shape. It's for pressed flowers, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, I'm putting one of those little helicopter things that comes off of the trees. It's pink and it was glittery. I'm not sure how that happened, but I stuck that in the little coin holder thing. And I'm going to staple that up to the top of the page in a moment. I wanted to kind of add something to that dead space up at the top of that page as well. So I put some letter stickers, and I spelled out "my sanctuary" because my garden is kind of like my sanctuary. And I end up having to move those around a little bit to make everything fit. But I definitely needed something up at the top of that page just to make it all look good together. And lastly, I'm just putting a little bit of tape over top of those letter stickers just to make sure they stay down. And that is the finished spread. So I hope you enjoyed watching me use the Your Creative Studio box in this spread. I look forward to making another Junk Journal with Me video very soon, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.